Coach Deboer begin with his opening statement. Good question.
You bet. Yeah. Good morning or afternoon, I guess. All right. Appreciate you all being here, and it was a good weekend for us. Everything's a first, right? Going on the road was our first time together with our staff, and thought the guys did a nice job. I was happy, obviously, with the outcome, but also just the process and everything leading up to it, and how the weekend went. So I thought they had a great balance of high energy, passion, emotion, but not being over emotional, and having a business-like mindset, and going and just knowing that it was going to be you versus a great crowd there, and thought we did a nice job, just staying the course and made the plays, got the momentum on our side, especially there in the second quarter. The end of the half especially was a big deal. And I preach to the guys, keep playing, keep believing, and things will come your way. We're athletic enough, we got playmakers, and that's exactly what happened. Getting the stop, getting the field goal attempt, and flipping that around in 36 seconds or whatever it was, and getting some points and then doing it again. I thought that was a big piece of what we preach each and every day, and it happened. So some things I know you heard from the coordinators, but I think not having the special teams coordinator up here, I think one highlight also is just how James Burnham's been doing, kicking the football. He's a game changer. He can flip the field really on any kick. We saw that again on Saturday, and just proud of the way he goes about it. He's just quiet, but man, when he hits the ball, it makes some noise, and I mean that in a lot of ways. And so it's fun seeing him do his thing at a high level. So I thought, as far as how we handled the environment and the noise, I thought the offense did a nice job. Did a great job in the week of preparation. Felt like they were ready for whatever was thrown at them. I think the coordinators probably talked about some of the turnovers and takeaways, and how we were better there. Thought we were better on third down, solid in the red zone again. So a lot of those main things showed up. We were taking the next step, I think, this last week in from where we were at against South Florida. So always things from an execution standpoint to improve on, areas where a bye week is important to continue to address, continue to build our depth, develop guys that we know we're going to need throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'll ask two special teams questions. That's all right. Graham Nicholson, he got a chance to attempt his first field goal of the season this past game. What do you make of just his limited opportunities and making sure he's ready to go? And then second question, we saw Ryan Williams return a punt. Could we see some more of that potentially this season?
Yeah, with Graham, we've been scoring when we get in the red zone, getting the touchdowns. We haven't been in too many spots until Saturday, where we had the field goal, 46-ish, I think, 47, somewhere in there. I think he hit it good. I think in pregame we felt like maybe there was a little bit of a breeze coming right to left, probably over-calculated that, and it wasn't something where I felt like, where I know we all feel like he mishit it or anything. We just got to do a better job of understanding, the direction or how much it's going to influence the kick. So, yeah, and that's part of being a kicker, right? Pregame, during the game, towards the end, it's going to change, and so each side of the field changes. I know he expects himself to make that. We expect him to make it. He's been solid all fall camp. In regards to Ryan, with the injury to Cole Adams, that was one guy taken off of that area, and our depth, and so Bach's been back there doing a good job with his opportunities, and we need to continue to build that. And just getting Ryan one rep out there, I thought was good. He did a nice job. Looked very comfortable back there. There's some other guys, Jeremy Bernard could do that as well. He's been working on it, not just this year, but in the past. And so we just want to make sure guys continue to get that one rep, feel comfortable, And there's always little things that pop up that guys can learn from, and there were some learning opportunities even with Bach, just staying away from the football on one of the punts that was rolling. We got to do a better job there staying away. So everything is, again, new experience, especially for some of these younger guys, freshmen like Ryan and Bach, but they've done a really nice job so far.
Yeah, hey, Coach, did you have any reaction or say anything to guys like Jeremy or any of the other players for what they said after the game about jump rounds?
Yeah, I didn't realize until yesterday, and actually Jerm did come in and he owned it. I didn't even bring it up to him. I didn't even know it happened until yesterday. Just, he's a first-class guy, and, the emotions and the excitement of the game and all that. Unfortunately, you sometimes say things you get asked to comment on, and he actually wanted to say something to the team. We want to be first class, and we slipped up a little bit there, and he addressed the team yesterday in our team meeting, and everyone knows who Germ is, and respect the heck out of him. So something like that is something. There was a great atmosphere. I really, Wisconsin, the environment there was great. I think our guys enjoyed that transition there in between the third and the fourth quarter just as much as anyone. So, nothing but respect for what the environment was and who they are as a program.
Coach, how much did Jalen Milroe change protections pre-snap against Wisconsin, and where is he at in that part of developing his game?
Yep, good question. I'm trying to think through. I feel like there was, I think you get into the situations, probably the latter down of distances, third downs, when you see, the pressures, and I think he did a really solid job. There was one time, and it wouldn't fall necessarily on his lap, where there was a little bit of miscommunication across the board, or it didn't happen as fluid as smooth as you would like. I think we got to the point where we needed to by the time the ball was snapped. But just everyone being on the same page. And that's not just the offensive line and him, that's everyone, And so we could have done a better job across the board. But in regards to Jalen, we are continuing to ask more and more of him as he gets more comfortable with what we do. And we know that is going to need to be the case, where he has full reign right now. He knows what the expectations are and what we really prefer him to be doing with the checks, and he's been really solid, and that's going to be important for us going into SEC play. We know that for sure.
How have you seen Justice contribute to the offense even in games where he's not getting a ton of carries like this one?
Who? Oh, Justice Haynes, yeah. Right off the bat, getting him the ball, he can do a lot of things. Catching the ball, ran through a tackle right off the bat, set the tone there. Some of the carries where he'd have been involved ended up being throws, RPO plays, run, keeps by the quarterback. And so all of a sudden you get to the middle of the third quarter and you hit another explosive there at the beginning of the fourth. And we're pulling all our guys. And, I know we need him to be really a very productive guy for us. And I thought when he was out there, he was exactly that. We trust and believe in him like no other. The guy works his tail off every single day. He's fun to coach. He's great in protection. He's out in the routes. He's obviously a huge threat when he's got the ball in his hands. And so, just sometimes the flow of the game and the rotation we have, the ball didn't end up in his hands as much, but the ball will continue to find him because I know Jalen believes in him, our coaching staff believes in him, and so, you try to be intentional on some of that stuff, and sometimes it just doesn't go exactly how you planned as far as who gets the touches and so forth.
You have a great record in these marquee kind of matchups, and you got one coming up. Just what would you attribute to your success in these kind of games, and then how do you approach it with kind of a 2-week window right now?
Yeah, great players, great coaching staff around you is always what makes it all go. People who are comfortable, being alongside with you in these big games and these big, getting the SEC play. They're all going to be big, and so The players make plays, and it's our job to just continue to put them in the best spot, help them continue to gain confidence, remind them that the preparation is what's going to lead to their success, and just a belief in what we do, how we do it. That's to me football. That's how you're successful in anything, and so that's what we'll do here with the bye week. Use a couple days here to just relax as far as like kind of decompress a little bit. 7 weeks now these guys have been going. I know it's only 3 games in the season, but they've been going for 7 weeks as of tomorrow when it comes to practices, and this little time here where they can take care of some school and kind of get caught up or just make sure they're on pace and working ahead even in those areas that are away from football, and knock that out so they can do what they love and not have any distractions. Thursday, Friday, we'll get back on the practice field, and Wednesday, we'll do some things as well. So, these guys need, the physical break as well. I think we're in an okay spot, when it comes to health, but you can always be better, and that's what a bye week gives you.
Coach, going back to Jalen, the first touchdown pass to Ryan Williams, it looked like the exact same play as the miss in the first drive to Emmanuel Henderson. How indicative is that redo of Jalen Milroe's kind of growth this year out of what you've seen?
Yeah, and in both of them, I thought he felt comfortable. He looked comfortable, I think, throughout the game because of our offensive line. It starts up front with the protection, and I think he felt that he did a good job really reading the coverage, seeing where the safety help might be, and really hit it in rhythm. A little tighter coverage on the first one to E-Man, but Ryan had a step, and that was the difference. But I think even just kind of looking at the trajectory of the ball, and having to throw it a little flatter so that the help couldn't get there in time, but also not making it too flat to where you had a little room for error. I thought it was just a great throw. Hit him in stride. Ryan did his thing, secured it, and it was really fun, especially on a third down and long, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. So huge point in the game there for us to get the ball in the end zone, and not just be something that's a 3 or 4 yard game, but a 30 plus yard explosive.
You mentioned Burnham, coach, at the start, but what does it do for your defense to have a guy that can consistently put the opponent in a rough position every time?
Yeah, I thought about just even that sequence. I believe we forced a punt right after that, or it was a takeaway maybe, and just how the field flipped just with a few plays there. And James does that for you. As long as we give him what we need, from a protection standpoint, you're going to get a good snap with Nealon. He's rock solid, and James puts everything into it, all his energy and power into that kick, and technically he's just so sound and so consistent. So he's been that way all fall camp, and we got a lot of trust in him, and it's something our whole team, when he goes out there, they believe in him, and so it's a weapon to have. And as you said, it flips the script, and now the defense, with a little more field space to work with, can set the tone, especially when you get in those backed up situations. I think 3 times inside the 20-yard line is what James did as far as backing them up. So huge weapon for us.
Coach, I know you talked about it earlier, but going into a bye week, how do you approach an early bye week, and what are some of the things you want to see going into it with SEC play, obviously, next week?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good because I think every bye week is a little different. Early bye weeks, again, there has been 7 weeks of football that these guys have been kind of going as far as hitting each other, but it is early in the season still. For us, we'll take a few of these days here, like I said, just to let the coaching staff start working ahead on the schematics, game plan. There's obviously some recruiting. There's other parts of the program there the coaches focus their attention as well. But then from a player standpoint, just trying to get them, a little bit of a mental break here for a second. It's only a couple days, but let them be students here for a few days as well, just not just the athletic part. So, later on, you kind of adapt, even not just when you practice, but how long you practice. But we'll have some really good solid practices here at the latter part of the week, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Gives us a jump on the next game with Georgia.
Coach, you touched on it in your open about the decision to be so aggressive in the last 36 seconds of the first half. Can you elaborate more on that and what you and Coach Sheridan saw that led to that decision?
We had, 36 seconds. You got a field goal kicker you believe in, and I think 3 timeouts, if I remember right. So you got a lot working for you. We get any type of gain at all, and we're in bounce. We're gonna use the timeout there and see if we can get a first down or two. And the guys just went out and made a play. Great time in the pocket. I know Jalen, I think, got hit a little bit as he was making the throw, but anticipation, I think you saw, not to break down the play, because I know that's not the question, but I think you saw a trust and anticipation in Jalen on that throw as Ryan is just taking off. The throw is being made. Good read of the defense, and Ryan doing his thing again. Set us up for another explosive. Germ's the first read on the play. There's other guys that I think were coming into windows that we could have hit as well. But it all started with protection on both those plays. And when you have confidence in the guys up front and protect your quarterback and a quarterback that's going to make smart decisions, I've been over coaching those probably early on with Jalen to take care of it in this situation or that. The more and more, it's just these little blurps that I'm giving him, and he's on the same page. And so that's part of the progression of us working together more and more, the progression of now you take that to the film room and talk about why we were aggressive in that moment, and then seeing it pay off. It just gives your team a lot of confidence, because the defense knows that anytime, if we just give the ball to the offense, whether it's off a takeaway and we have red zone, or two-minute drill, just a lot of confidence that goes back and forth in playing good team football.
One last question. Colin, on the far left.
Hey, Keelan, two-parter if I could. First, you mentioned the pause. I'm curious with this bye week, how you've seen Ryan Williams kind of respond to what he's been able to do across these 7 weeks for you guys, and kind of how he should reflect and kind of move forward as SEC play starts out soon. And then do you have updates on the status of Quay Rousseau, Malachi Moore, and then Richard Gale?
Yep. As far as Ryan, the thing that impresses me so much about him is the business-like mentality he has when it comes to football, but the way he's able to balance it with a personality that is just fun to be around. Loose when you have that time to be loose. It just happened, probably an hour ago, a chance to just be around him and smiling and enjoying being who he is, and then turning into this, beast on the football field through these first 3 games. And there's going to be ups and downs just like anyone for him that'll come, but I've confident in his maturity, well beyond his years, being only 17. And, I don't feel like I'm pumping him up too much, because I think he's getting the job done on the football field, and he's making it happen there. But it's fun seeing that balance and just, let him be him. That's what I want all our players to be. But he's a joy to be around, because when he gets on the football field, when he's in the weight room, man, there's a lot of focus. And I know he prioritizes things, even like sleep. He's just really locked in on what needs to be done for him to be the best he can be. As far as injuries, Cole, again, this is a good time with the bye week. I would expect that here as we get to the latter part of the week, he's continuing to move forward. We can kind of see where he is. We won't push him too hard here at the end of the week with physicality and things like that, make him vulnerable. But I think, it's positive steps that we're seeing. Quay, with the evaluation of him, I think, again, the bye week's huge. I think he probably later in the week will, be able to do some things for us, and we'll certainly be careful with him. We don't want to have any setbacks, but I would feel like it's, a positive progression for him already here just in the last couple days. And who's the third one? 4 of them. Malachi, he got obviously a hit to the head, blow to the head. He popped up and ran off the field, but I also know that there's a protocol we got to go through it. So a lot of positive signs there with him already here for these first couple of days. And again, we just got to go through that progression that needs to be done when it comes to those type of injuries. And Richard, I'm not sure on Richard a little bit. I think his, kind of got to continue to evaluate here, and can probably have some follow up here maybe towards the end of the week.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Real Tide.